Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the month of April 2023. We're just going to jump right in here, Gemini. You have this card that says, you have special gifts. Never surrender to the normal. You also have this card that says, a detour is available to you right now that can be a benefit. It seems like there are a lot of detours available for people. And look at this. I mean, Ten of Swords would be some sort of ending. The Two of Swords would be kind of like I always say she has this new island behind her. She is sitting where she has always been, but there might be like a new opportunity behind her. And so, I definitely feel that there could be some sort of detour. It's also funny that you have that card that says never surrender to normal. But I feel like it's saying like, don't be normal. That's like what I'm getting there. So, it's like, I like who gets to decide what a normal life is? Like, who gets to decide how you are supposed to live? And again, I think that if you're trying to live like everyone else, then you're going to be just like everyone else. I feel that we are living in a time where it's going to be critically important that you are unique, that you have your own unique self. I always say that, yes, Pluto in Aquarius is absolutely about the collective, but that does not mean that you should just become part of Zuckerberg's hive mind, right? Not at all. The opposite. So what I would say here is that I feel like some of you could be experiencing some sort of ending with the Ten of Swords, but you can see here, he's making a symbol with his hands, and that symbol represents receiving a blessing. It's actually the same symbol that the Hierophant is making on his card. So I feel like, by picking some sort of detour in your life, you're actually going to end up in a much better place. And again, it seems to me like we're in a time of detours where you think you're going one direction, something doesn't work out, you have to change direction very quickly, or you have to, make some moves or, move things around in your life. But again, I would be looking for those opportunities right now because that's where it's at. Definitely feel that energetically, right? And it could be an obstacle. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have the Two of Swords here. This new island represents an obstacle, but she needs to go to that island. And you might be saying, Chris, why would I want to move towards an obstacle? And I always say, because not all obstacles are bad. Some obstacles are good. If you want to become a doctor, you have to go to school. For most people, that's an obstacle because I don't know, who really wants to go to school? Number one, I don't. Definitely not. Hated school since I was like 5, right? So definitely don't. And, it's a sacrifice of time. So, that's why it's an obstacle, but it's a good obstacle because it could make you very successful. It could make you a lot of money if you're a doctor, for example. I'm not saying that's what's going on here. It could be anything. But I feel that there's just an opportunity for you to take a detour in your life. And whatever that detour is going to lead to a lot of success. You also have the Four of Cups. Again, this kind of just talks about disappointments, being disappointed by the results. It's a card of contemplation and apathy, but he's trying to manifest those cups, but he's disappointed because he's just manifesting the same cups. And again, like I said at the beginning of the reading, I feel like this reading is saying, don't be normal. And you're a Gemini, so I'm a Gemini moon. I know how you Geminis operate, right? And so you're definitely not normal. I'm here to tell you that right now, so don't be afraid to be your weird Gemini self. But what I would also say is that, if you're finding that you're just living the same story, it's probably because you're just being like everyone else. I would just be yourself. With the Ten of Swords, you have this Patience card. No, I feel like you're not waiting for anything to change any longer. It's like Ten of Swords and Seven of Pentacles. This would be a change in direction. The Ace of Wands is a new beginning. Literally, you go to the High Priestess, which can also represent, she really represents needing to get started. So I feel for a lot of you that you've been patient in some area of your life. For some of you, it could be like waiting to have a family, or maybe you're with a person and they're just making you wait to have a family or something. I don't know, it's popping into my head. So some of you could be leaving that situation if you haven't already, because you're looking for I feel like you're kind of looking for something right now. I hope that makes sense. Probably not. But that's like the energy that I get here. It's like you've been patient enough, you've been waiting, you gave something time, but now if it's not going where you want it to go, it's time to leave. And I feel it, but it's like, I don't even think you're sad about this. Like if it's a relationship, for example, I think you're just kind of, it is what it is. If it's a job that just isn't going anywhere, same thing. I think it is what it is. With the Two of Swords, you have the assertion card. So I feel like you are asserting yourself at this time. And again, he is having to face a fear. He's having to slay this dragon. And I always say that, dragons in mythology, they guard gold, and dragons represent fears. So it's like when we face our fears, we get the gold. So I feel like that new island, going towards something new, could be a fear, kind of a fear. But I feel like at the same time, I feel like you're doing it because there's a lot of action here. The assertion card, the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles really tells me that you're putting in the work as well. You do have 2 patience cards, but this is the row of the good stuff, this last row here. So I feel like there's something good coming in for you that you have been waiting for. It's almost like your patience, you have been patient, and I feel like this reading is saying your patience is being rewarded. Could be an Aries coming in for you if you want love, by the way. It could also be a water sign, I'm getting. With the 4 of Cups, you have this criticism card. I think this could be a fear. Like, again, if you're doing things that no one in your life has ever done, or if you're doing things that make you unique, guess what? People are going to criticize you. It just is what it is. It's like, I've had my own business since I was 16 years old. And, ever since then, like, I remember my grandfather, who's dead now, but, at the time, he would always act like, even when I was like 20 something, he would be like, when are you going to get it? Basically, he would be like, when are you going to get a real job? Meanwhile, I was like making more than he ever did, ever. So, it's like one of those things where people aren't going to understand what you're doing. They're not going to understand your uniqueness because they're going to say, hey, you have to be just like the rest of us sheep, right? And I feel like this is saying, no. You be yourself, Gemini. You do the things that lead to this right here, a passionate new beginning, a lot of abundance going this way as well. I mean, this is a very amazing reading, and clearly you have this treasure map card that says you're almost there. Don't lose focus, right? How do we lose focus? I don't know, your dipshit cousin from down the street tells you that your business idea is stupid, and then you're like, oh my God, they're right. My business idea is stupid. Meanwhile, they've never had a business their entire life. So don't listen to them, right? I literally have a rule. It's like rule number 1, don't listen to dipshits, right? And that's basically what this is saying. So I feel like some of you need to stay focused. I feel like you need to keep your eye on the prize. I feel like you need to keep doing what you're doing. I actually think you could have, I think you could have people coming out of the wood, like as you become more successful, I think you could have people coming out of the woodwork, kind of criticizing you and things like that. One thing I've noticed here growing this channel is like, I'll have people who like message me things that are just like they're kind of like backhanded compliments, you know what I mean? And so I would be very careful of that. I'm not making a statement on that. I'm just saying, like, as you become more successful, you might notice that. And, what I really think it is it's people, they want to, it's like they want to have a reason like why you're successful and why they aren't successful. And again, that's really what's popping into my head here. I don't know why. Again, I haven't received one of those comments in a very long time, but I'm just, that's like the best example I could give you, is what I would say here. So it's like, and it's like anytime I make a mistake on the channel, like anytime there's a spelling mistake, there's people who jump all over it. They're like, yes, he's wrong, right? It's almost like they're happy. And so, again, I would avoid those people. I always ban those people right away. Because it's like, if you're happy that I'm wrong about something, then goodbye, right? But I would definitely protect yourself with that card. You have the 7 of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Knight of Cups. There's like a 10 of Pentacles coming in for you. It could be love, but I don't think it like that's not the only thing that it has to be here. The 10 of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in life. It is the tree of life. And, it doesn't mean you will have everything you want and desire. I always say that 10 of Pentacles is a living, breathing thing. We have to, nurture it, take care of it, all of that, build it. And it's also something that we just naturally build on for life. So you could be like really working on something here. You have the 7 of Pentacles, which tells me that you see something as not worth it any longer. So again, we already talked about this. I think you're just heading towards a new beginning here. You even have this coffin card as well, which also tells me you're heading towards a new beginning. This new beginning is going to be obviously incredibly abundant with the Empress. So I feel like you're kind of creating your own abundance and success. She creates her own abundance and success. I also get something about ending a cycle. She has 12 stars on her crown. And, it kind of represents the 12 signs of the zodiac. And so something's coming to an end here. It's like you've completed a full cycle is what I feel. You have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is a knight in shining armor. So, I do feel like there could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you. Could be a water sign for sure. Could be any sign. Take it how it resonates. But, I feel like this could be a person. If it's not a person, I feel like it's a dream. I always say he's looking into that cup normally, and he's thinking or dreaming about something that he wants to create in his life. And I do feel that treasure map card is again saying you're almost there. Don't quit now. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the seduction card. Definitely could be love coming in for you. You could have had your eye on a person or have had an eye on a person for like the last year. This is Jupiter and Pisces over like the last year and a half, since, earlier, since the beginning of the year back is what I'm saying. We had Jupiter and Pisces. Obviously, at the end of the year, Jupiter moved into Aries. But I think since that time, since like a year and a half back from there, that maybe you've had your eye on a person or maybe you've become aware of a person. And if you have, I feel like it could be this person that's coming in for love. I also feel that this is saying, like, move towards your desires, all of you. You have the Ace of Wands here. The problem with the Ace of Wands is that, it's just something that inspires us sometimes. It's just that one thing that we get excited about. So it's, like, good because you can get excited about something. But, if you're excited about playing dodgeball all day, then it's like you might be thinking to yourself, like, how can I make money playing dodgeball all day, right? It's like, how is that? Yes, it's my passion and I love it, but how is it going to lead to success? And again, remember what I said, this reading is basically saying, don't judge something you never freaking know. You never know how maybe dodgeball becomes like the #1 sport in the US and become rich and famous, right? By starting the famous dodgeball league. So if there was ever a time that this could happen, it's right now. With the Empress, you have this protection card. I feel like you are protected at this time, but I do feel it's also saying, like, protect your ideas. This is also another card of Aries. This is the moon in Aries, so definitely could be an Aries coming in for you. With the Knight of Cups, you have this appreciation card. I feel that's probably what will stand out to you if you're attracting love, is that this person really appreciates you. I feel like they show you appreciation. It's like, probably one of the main things that they do. So if you're attracting love, that's what I'd say here. There's also this cornucopia here, and cornucopia represent abundance. So I do feel like you are becoming much more abundant. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this marriage card and this coffin card. The coffin card, is closed. Coffins in tarot and also oracle cards, the coffin itself represents your old life. Outside the coffin represents your new life. So I feel for a lot of you, again, Ten of Swords, something is dead, done, over with. Something needs to be laid to rest. It could be the you that doesn't play dodgeball. Now you're shifting into the one that, does play dodgeball, right? Maybe you're switching into something. So something needs to be laid to rest. The marriage card definitely could be love. We have the Ten of Pentacles. I personally consider the Ten of Pentacles to be the best love card in the deck. It is because it really represents everything, like kind of having it all with a person. I don't think we ever truly have it all, but I think it's a good idea. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with working towards having it all. To me, happiness is the result of achievement. So to me, I think we should always be working towards something. And I'm not talking about grinding here. Someone always gets super offended, which I don't understand. Like, how dare I suggest people be happy? But it's like, I'm not talking about just always going towards the next thing. I'm talking about I think we should always be like growing and working towards something or working on something, something worthy. I'm not talking about like grinding your face off for $10 billion in a bank, unless that's really what you want, is what I'd say. But I think that people, come to me and they're like, it's toxic to always be working towards something. And I'm like, no, depending on how you look at it, sure, but anything is toxic. You not achieving anything is also toxic. So I think we need to find a little middle ground here, Gemini, right? And that's what I feel this Ten of Pentacles is talking about. It's like, will you have everything you want? Probably not, but there's probably somewhere in the middle, and I think it's worth working towards those things. You have the Justice card. I feel like you're feeling so much better. I don't know. I just got like this major sense of relief off this Justice card. It's like things are balancing out. I feel like you just going this way even, it's like you feel like things are much more worth your time. Seven of Pentacles is like, is the juice worth the squeeze? And then going down to the Eight of Pentacles, you're working on things and getting results. So I feel like your time is being much better spent here. You have the Ace of Wands, a lot of passion, a lot of desire here. So I would move towards the things that you're passionate about, whether it be people, places, or things, right? And I would also start creating. You have the Empress to the Ace of Wands, which I would be careful getting pregnant if you're not trying to get pregnant. But I also feel that for some of you, it's like this is talking about creation, creating something new. With the Ace of Wands, you have this influence card. Yeah, like I said, I would be careful of like rushing right into a relationship. Like I would definitely take your time. Actually don't feel too bad. This card always reminds me of like a negative influence on a relationship, which some of you could have dealt with that, and that could be the relationship that's ending. But for the most part, I actually feel pretty good about this. And I do feel like it's saying, again, with that protection card right here, I'll show you going this way. Again, some of you could be entering into a relationship in the near future where people have something to say about it, and I would protect it and ignore it. You have this criticism card. Again, I would be careful of who you allow to influence your relationships, but also not just that. Anything you're committing to, I don't allow other people to tell you what to do. With the Justice card, you have this Harmony card. I literally said I just felt like so much like at peace with that Justice card. It's the best way I could describe it. So something is bringing you peace or joy or happiness or something here, Gemini. I don't know. It does feel good. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have this Fulfillment card. I definitely feel that there is clearly a lot of fulfillment. Ten of Pentacles. This could be financial fulfillment. I'm also getting here that if you're doing business like at distance, if you're working with it, maybe in a foreign location, if you're traveling for business, if your business just happens to work with foreign countries or in foreign countries, it's popping into my head that there could be a lot of success in doing that. Next at the end for the good stuff, doesn't matter what shows up here, it's going to be good no matter what. You have this Building Blocks card and this Patience card. It says it will require you to have faith while you're shown the way. The universe will give you what your soul needs at the perfect time. The Building Blocks card is like a card of being built up. You can see that those blocks are lifting her up. It's like as they're falling, that column is rising, and so that lady is being lifted up. I kind of feel like this is saying you have been patient. Like I said earlier in the reading, I feel like you are finally being rewarded for your patience. But I also feel there's a little bit of a warning in the reading that's basically saying, like, don't settle. Don't go back to the past. You're very, very close, but sometimes I think in life we are very close, but then we give up and we kind of go back to a past person or whatever. I feel like this is saying keep pushing forward. You have the High Priestess, definitely a time to trust your intuition. I actually think that the good stuff here, I think this is saying that you see through things. Like you see things very, very clearly. I think it's intuitive, but I also feel it's like more... I feel like it's more of a literal message, like you literally are seeing things as they are, literally, but it's also partially intuitive, so I would trust both. She kind of has these two pillars here can represent many different things, but I also feel like it's talking about balance for you. It's like talking about balancing your intuition with your straight up logical mind, right? And that's what I feel like you're doing here. I also feel this is saying that she has these 3 stages of the moon on her crown. And it represents the fact that she sees the beginning, middle, and end of every single thing she enters into before she enters into it. It's not even intuitive. She is visualizing things as she wants them to go. I think that would be a very good practice for you, is to like visualize things. But I also feel that you could literally, like you could be meeting a person and you just know. You could be that it's the right person. You could be going on a job interview and you just know that you're going to get it. It's like there's something about just that knowing, popping up here. And so I feel like you need to listen to that and not everyone else, right? With the whole influence card. You have the 5 of Swords again. This is showing up in the good stuff. So it's going to be positive no matter what. I would say that's a card of winning at all cost, but it is a card of taking a risk. If you're taking any calculated risks, I feel like these risks are going to pay off very well for you. You have the 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles really tells me that you're receiving abundance, 8 of Pentacles is my card of material success on the horizon. It basically says you've been doing a bunch of work and now you're getting paid for it. Maybe literally, but it could also be figuratively, like you've been working on yourself and you're getting abundance or whatever. Let's see. With the High Priestess, you have this eccentricity card. Be your own unique eccentric self. Again, don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd here, Gemini, whatever that means for you. There's clearly something very important. And again, I think people don't stand out against a crowd because they don't want to be kicked out of the crowd. It comes from our caveman days where if we were different, we would get kicked out of the tribe. So I feel like this is saying we're not cavemen any longer. Some people act like it, but we're not. So I feel like this is saying, like, don't be afraid to, move towards new ideas, unique ideas, changes in your life that make you more unique. Pluto and Aquarius, it's like anything you do to be different would be a good idea. With the 5 of Swords, you have this decision card. If you've been trying to make a decision, I feel you are taking a risk to pick the new path. That's going to lead to success. With the 8 of Pentacles, you have this loss card. Again, if you have lost money, this is the good stuff. So it doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be positive no matter what. I feel like you are improving your financial situation. And if you have experienced a loss in the past, it's almost like there's a recovery here. So I definitely like to see that. We're going to pull 5 main themes now, Gemini. You have this bear. It says danger, especially in money matters. You do have that lost card with Eight of Pentacles, so I would keep an eye on your money, is what I would say here. I would also be careful of investments, although this looks like a very good reading for your finances. I just would be careful of influences. Again, you have that influence card with the Ace of Wands. That kind of strikes me as a false start, or, that strikes me as, again, your cousin coming to you and being like, oh, invest in this new stock or this new cryptocurrency. Give me all your money. And this says, no, don't do it. So I do, while I think it's a great time for you for money, I would be careful of anything that sounds too good to be true. I've been telling people for years, no get-rich-quick schemes. No. Especially with Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus wants us to get rich slow. And people always say, I don't want to get rich slow. I'm like, okay, well, are you rich right now? And usually the answer is no. Then I'm like, well, it's like you might never get rich. So you might as well try to get rich and get rich slow than not, right? As far as I'm concerned. But on top of that, I think what people don't realize, when you work with the energy, things happen faster. So if you do things the right way to get rich, then guess what? You have this carrot card that says opportunity and windfall. So you will get rich fast, but slow. So we have to kind of move fast and slow. And people always say those two things conflict. No, they don't. So, just put your thinking cap on. You'll figure it out. But there could be some big opportunities coming in for you. You have this dogs card. It says getting together with friends. Big fan of socializing right now. I think we all need to get out of our head. There just seems to be a little bit of a head energy going on this month. Anything you do to socialize, have fun with other people would be a great idea. You have this pin card. It says new job, new career. So if you're looking for a new job or something new, Ten of Swords, we talked about how you could be, just starting something new. And you also have this V card. It says victory in some endeavor. Yes, there are some big victories here in this reading. So really good reading, Gemini. I really like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.